Okay. Okay. Uh, Disney slash Marvel canceled the Blade reboot. Okay. They canceled the Blade reboot. It had been in development hell for, I don't know, about 3 or 4 years, almost 5 years. It had been in development hell. And recently there was a big uptick in activity about the character, since he appeared in the last Deadpool movie. All right. And I saw that. It was nice and cathartic seeing Wesley Snipes in the movie. It was a cameo. He had some fight scenes, and we saw that he could still move. And, he was interviewed about it. He was contrite and humble and shit. And, I feel a certain way about the character of Blade and shit. Okay? I feel a certain way. I remember when it first came out in 1998. For me, it was like my Star Wars and shit. I've seen that movie so many times that the people at the theater knew me when I came. They just pull the ticket out and give it to me. I went to see Blade a number of times in the movie and shit. I wasn't consciously trying to, thinking that I was doing that to help it be a success or anything. But I would see other people that were coming back to see the movie, other brothers, other people, families, little children in there watching this R-rated movie. You know, and despite what people say, it is really the very first movie that kicked off the Marvel Cinematic Universe and shit, under the, behind the veil. Okay, I think back in 2019 they introduced Marshala Ali as the new version of Blade for the MCU. But when I saw him come out on stage with Kevin Feige and he put on that cap and I looked at the Blade logo, I knew it was all cap. Okay, contrary to popular belief, a lot of you people don't know this about me. I'm a creative. I'm a hyper creative and shit, right? And the whole film and writing thing is my forte, right? So I can look at the design of the logo and tell that it was strict and straight up garbage, and that what we were seeing was just simply propaganda and shit. It was simply propaganda. Today they use terms that we have been using for decades. It's culture vulturing, to the extreme. But they've taken the term woke and applied it to extremist views that don't particularly apply to the black community as it is. All right. But when I saw Marshala Ali on stage with that baseball cap on, that uh, you know, a cringy smile on his face and shit, I felt bad. He was already a part of the MCU, by the way, the Netflix universe. He was in Luke Cage, all right, and I feel that he visually would look like the character, but it would be a miscast and whatnot. It would be problematic to put him in his own series of movies because I don't think he has the physicality to pull it off. We'll never know. Okay, the movie's been put on indefinite hiatus, basically canceled. All right, and one of the reasons that they did this was because they couldn't find a way to mess it up. Okay, they couldn't find a way to destroy the movie and make it like a piece of crap. All right, if you don't believe me, you saw Black Panther come out and make $1 billion. Okay, they waited an overly long time to put out a second one and shit. And unfortunately, Chadwick Boseman passed away, but they could have put out a. He had a number of cameos in the other movies before, he passed away. So it was theoretically that they could have put out a second Black Panther movie. They could have fast tracked that, but they didn't do that. All right. They wanted to muck up the Black Panther franchise. His death afforded them opportunity to flip everything on its head inside that version of the universe and put women at the forefront of that franchise. And it failed. Okay, it made money, but it didn't make as much money as the first. All right, they make crap movies. They don't know what they're doing, and it's all propaganda. This sucks. When I saw Marshala Ali on stage, I knew that basically he was being used as a crash test dummy. He was being used as a human shield for the other crappy projects that they pulled out of their ass in that very same presentation. They put out the Eternals and a bunch of the Black Widow movie. And get to the Eternals. They made a big deal about having the first gay couple and gay kiss in a Marvel comic book movie. I don't see where that has anything to do with any kind of activities that go on in a comic book and shit. How's being gay going to save the world or the universe? And they had they had it with Brian Tyree Henson, a kind of chubby black actor. Shit, he's a good voice. He's a good actor and shit, but he's an op. I have no respect. As far as the MC goes, MCU. He kissed a man on screen in that movie, and the other guy wasn't white. It was like I don't know, a Middle Eastern gentleman and shit. And they had an adopted son. They kissed. They kissed. Okay, they want to feminize the black man and shit. Going back to the original Wesley Snipes Blade, the first two movies are fire. The second one is trash, and they put a series out that was trash. They intentionally sabotaged that third Blade movie, and Wesley Snipes' career went into a nosedive and shit of negative, propaganda that emerged from the troubleshoot of the third movie and shit. All right, and I'd like to go into detail on that, but I won't. I just want to say that they were never going to produce a Blade movie and shit. It's not hard to make a Blade movie. It's not hard. It's a man. It's a masculine man killing vampires and shit. Okay, he is half a vampire. How hard is that? Okay, all you have to do is buy a bunch of fake plastic teeth and shove them in these people's mouth, and get a martial artist and beat ass and mistake them. It's real simple and shit. How hard is that? You will have to ask yourself. You look at these shitty movies they've been putting out since like around 2008, 19 or so. You ask these movies, it's like they're doing it on purpose. They're trolling on purpose. As far as black men, for us, I am a straight black man. I am a hyper creative. I read comic books all my life. I was, bullied and teased, very partially for that, but more for other things, being non-selected and all. They don't want us to be seen as leaders. They don't want us to be seen as heroic and shit. If we are, we have to be a sidekick or have some kind of tragic backstory. If you go back to the original Blade, he was a superhero, but he had to shoot up a serum just to do his job. He had to shoot up. You look at Black Panther, and he's the leader of the country, but he doesn't make any decisive action. Until the last third of the movies. His country is able to be usurped by an American inverted tether and shit. All right, this country is able to be usurped. This country, the most technologically advanced country in the world, is able to be turned on its head. Even in the sequel, they had a bunch of non-melanated or alternative melanated people come from another place and just run over the technologically advanced black African country and shit. They sabotage us. Okay, they own your fucking image and shit. You're not gonna get what you need or what you want your children to see, the examples and everything. You're not gonna get it unless you do it yourself. And I'm not talking about the trash content that they put on streaming services like Tubi. Right? I think it's a shame. I think it's a shame that the movie got canceled. It had so much potential. And I want to tell you, I've been on hiatus for a minute. And one of the things I was doing, I was watching people watching the movie for the first time. Ever since Deadpool 3 came out, Deadpool and Wolverine, there's been a surge and uptick in popularity for Blade, but they canceled the movie in the middle of this surge of popularity and this research into Wesley Snipes' work in the franchise. And I've watched people from all over the world watching the movie for the first time and reacting favorably to it, right? And thinking that Wesley Snipes was incredible. They said that they had to obscure Chadwick Boseman's face, during the promotional push in China for Black Panther and shit. But I was watching people in China watching Wesley Snipes' Blade and enjoying it, reacting emotionally to the movie, reacting favorably to the movie, clapping when they saw it and shit. And I saw a lot of non-melanated people over here in the country that were watching it for the first time and reacting favorably to it and saying that it was different, that they wish they'd see more content like this. But, over there at Disney, over there in the MCU, and Kevin Feige has no clothes and no creativity. He's emotionally, spiritually, and thematically bankrupt. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. I mean, maybe he does know what he's doing and shit. Those people own part of our collective and childhoods and shit, the things that we love, and they take it and they pervert it for, their own purposes and whatnot. It's your job to participate or not. Okay? But don't everybody let nobody tell you that, a straight masculine black man can't be at the forefront of a franchise, and Will Smith does not count. Okay? Does not count in shit. Alright? Wesley Snipes is a viable global action hero. Okay? They actively do things to undermine and hamper our image and visual representation unless it goes through their filter and shit. And we all know how that goes. And I don't even participate or patronize any, give my patronage to any of their projects. Okay? A lot of people are gonna, say whatever they gotta say and shit, but I know quality when I see it. I do. And it's regrettable. I'm kind of glad that they canceled the Blade movie. Not rather it just be Wesley Snipes in perpetuity. His words prove prophetic. There's never going to be another Blade. There's only one Blade. There's never going to be another Blade. Blade is Wesley Snipes. Okay, and Wesley Snipes is Blade.